Welcome to episode 14 of Rewind Heroes. I'm your co-host, Greg Compton.
And I'm your other co-host, Dan Gaines. I can't believe this is, it feels like we just did 13. This is insane.
It's weird. It's almost like we shot it 10 minutes ago.
This is going to be our weekly video podcast where we talk everything, movies, television, anything Greg and I here find cool.
Exactly, and this week's going to be another shortened episode. I mean, there is news out there, but I think a lot of the news has been for blockbusters and stuff. Now we're getting those blockbusters, so we're kind of waiting to see what the next realm is. So right now, we just kind of want to dive into a new show, so we'll get straight to a review of Preacher.
So Greg, the new series on AMC, Preacher, premiered just a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Didn't know a lot about the source material, knew it was a graphic novel. Just kind of curious your overall thoughts on the series pilot.
Yeah, overall I know nothing about it except for it's a highly recommended comic. It's one of the better stories you hear. I know nothing about it. So went in thinking I'm going to check this out. I enjoyed it. I really did. And we'll get into a breakdown of this. But we'll talk more about it. But I do think it was shot incredibly well, and the pacing was good. Yeah, it was intriguing. I don't know. That's my overall take on it. I want to break it down a little better. But what did you think initially?
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely, it felt like unlike anything I had seen. And the whole time, it got better as the episode went on for me.
Exactly.
And that was, I guess, the best compliment you can give a show. Because by the time it ended, I was like, oh, God, I got to see more of this show. Did I love it? I don't know if I did, but it sparked my interest enough to want to come back. Yeah,
I think it was one that it was spending a lot of time building the world and the characters, and so it left you enough at the end. You're like, whoa, that's pretty, well. Speaking of characters, let's start with the preacher man himself, son of a preacher man, Jesse Custer. What were your thoughts on this character?
Yeah, it was interesting seeing Tony Stark's dad working in the church. Obviously had a past. I thought he played this role perfectly. He seems like a perfect cast for this type of character.
Yeah.
And the whole time I just kept trying to figure out, okay, what's this guy's story? And what's really going on?
Oh, yeah.
But I thought he was great. I mean, what did you think?
I do. I mean, there's a mystery of it. You want to know what makes the guy tick. You want to know what all these bad things are that he's done. You get a taste of it in that bar fight. Just phenomenal.
He didn't waste any time there.
No. I mean, he's cynical, but yet he obviously has a faith. And I think that's interesting. There's some kind of torment, but something that wants to keep him doing that. Even when he thinks he's going to give up, he looks out and he's like, no. So obviously he's, his faith runs a little deeper than you would think. It's not just a guy that's annoyed with the normal job, because that's not a normal job.
And that specific bar scene when he said, hang on, Sheriff, we're almost done here. And when he did what he did, I went, holy crap.
Yeah, then there were other characters. Tulip, who apparently is an ex-girlfriend, at least what I've seen in the Wikipedia. I don't know if they said that, but they alluded to it.
Definitely was alluded to.
And she plays the girl with the flower dress. I can't remember the character, Raina or something, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. What did you think of her?
She was indifferent on her.
I don't know yet.
I didn't like the way they showed her when she was in when she basically was driving through the cornfield. Yeah. And to me, I couldn't get past, this wasn't necessarily just for her. These kids witnessed these people that she killed, and they weren't even phased. They looked like they were looking up to her. I didn't understand what the hell was going on right now. So I don't know. I don't know enough about her yet, but she didn't do much for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I think she has enough snark that I think she will be a good complement to his character. We just don't know enough yet. And we don't know enough about Cassidy, who I guess is a vampire, according to what I've read in Wikipedia.
When you said he was a vampire, I don't even think I got that.
I don't think they went to it yet. I only say that because I looked it up, because I'm like, what is the deal? I need to know a little more about this and educate myself on it. And I might read the first book of Preacher. What were your thoughts on that character, though?
Just totally out there. I mean, every scene that he was in, I mean, we get introduced on the airplane, right? That was the first time we see him. And that scene, I'm sitting here right now, I watched it, and I still don't think I know exactly what the heck happened.
I know.
I mean, he was dealing, and then he goes to the bathroom, he looks in the Bible, and there's all these things written, and it was just like they all of a sudden knew who the guy was. Yeah. And it turns into this epic fight, and then he just jumps out of the plane. Yeah. Just bizarre.
It's so bizarre. I will say that character will be a great compliment, though.
Yes.
I think he's going to steal every scene he's in.
I agree.
I do wonder, when you get a character like this preacher, and if this guy is like, how do you take these two and solidify that they're going to be doing anything together?
True.
Is a strange thought. We should talk, one thing we didn't have kind of in our breakdown yet, but the power near the end. What were your thoughts on the power?
That, to me, the potential, what they can do with that.
The word.
Yeah, just the way that obviously he's got some power. It'll be interesting to find out how he finds out.
Yeah.
Like, is he going to just because I can't remember the gentleman's name that literally took his heart out.
Yeah.
But is it going to be something like the next episode we're going to see, he just sees this news and he's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Or is there going to be something else that happens that's how he responds? I'm just going to be curious.
I think it's going to be a few things.
Yeah, and I think that's going to maybe be the focus of this first season is how is he dealing with that?
Yeah, and apparently the power that he's taken is one that other people couldn't handle.
So what's different about
There's
Jesse?
something different about him. Overall, here's my production value on this show. It starts, when we're talking about it, starts with a bang.
Yes.
And it ends with a bang where you're like, okay, so this is the world we're in. It felt very Tarantino, like it felt
very much. Robert Rodriguez, all that stuff.
I will say that it was shot cinematically. The shots are beautiful. The framing is great. The pacing is great. I felt like it was just done so well. Monologues, like when he's in the church alone before he gets the power. He's an excellent actor for this character. Those things are going to make me want to continue watching this.
100% agree. And that was the thing. Like, it's just so well made.
Yes.
That storyline, it's unlike anything you've seen based on one episode. We don't have much to go off yet. But it does. It sucks you in from that perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Though I don't think it was just this mind-blowingly great pilot episode where I couldn't stop talking about it. The way that it's created makes me want to come back and check it out.
I mean, yeah, the plane sequence is very Kingsman.
Yeah.
It's very Zack Snyder, 300 Zack Snyder with the time remapping.
It reminded me of like From Dusk Till Dawn, that whole feel.
The show has a feel. Not all shows have that. And it makes me want to learn a little more about how this guy builds up his power. I will say, if you're a very religious person and you can't separate, or stuff like that, you need to be warned. This is dark, and it hits some dark moments. So just kind of use your own discretion, I guess I would say, watching this. What do you think you can handle? What do you not think you can handle? That's all I would say. Know when you're going into this, when it's called Preacher, it's a very dark take on a character, and it definitely has a lot of demonic stuff in it. So, but I don't know. I want to keep watching. I'm interested what's going on with the characters. I'll keep it going. It wasn't the greatest thing that blew me away, but again, if it's building story, and building a world, all the little characters, even the one from the end, the one that kept pestering him, the sheriff, all these little characters, it was very interesting. I felt like they're building a world for me to get involved in. And
I think that's it, is just getting familiar with the world we are watching. But you got to feel pretty good about it. This is something unrelated specifically to the show. But AMC obviously is pretty confident in this.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of build-up with it. I mean, they've already got the talking preacher after, where it's kind of like The Walking Dead with Talking Dead. So you got to believe that this thing has some legs to stand on. So that's encouraging to me as well.
And Walking Dead had a slower pace in the beginning.
Yeah,
honestly, the first season,
this thing came out blazing.
It built a world, and Mad Men, AMC, slow burn of a show, built a world. So it kind of follows their pattern, I guess, their method. Definitely. So that's our take on Preacher. We'll keep watching it just at least for a little while and see if it continues to build up. If it stagnates, we'll find out and maybe just tell you later on whether we're sticking with it or not.
Exactly.
You want to get to some recos?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get to some recos. Recommendation time. Okay, Dan, what do you got for the people?
Yeah, I've got something kind of unique this time around. A group of friends and I actually got back from vacation, and we played a unique card game called Timeline. I won't get too caught up in the weeds, but basically they have different versions of this. They have an entertainment version, and basically all it is, very simple in context, but what you do is you literally put everything from TV shows to movies, all the way from like 1920s to as recent as last year, movies and television shows in chronological order. And you can play with 2 people, you can play with 20 people, and you would think a game that simple is not that exciting, but it's addicting. And you don't realize how many things you can remember pretty realistically where they fall in the chronological order. So it's a fun game. Please check it out. It's on Amazon if you want to check it. It's only like $10.
Okay. And in fact, I was going to recommend some music, but should I recommend a game?
Do it. Why not? We'll change
Stick with it. Zombies. Have you heard of the board?
This. I've never played it.
Board game Zombies. It's great. They have expansion packs. Basically, Zombies is a game where in your role you play your character and you play zombies, but you're in a zombie apocalypse. You need to escape. You need to get to the helipad.
Okay.
So with each turn, there are tiles, and you turn over a tile. It's a cityscape, or a little block, and you can connect the street to the other tiles that are already on the board. So as the game goes, everybody does this, so the board continues to build. Cool. One of those is a helipad. That's what you have to get to. So for a while, it's not even pulled out yet. So you got, and it's set up, and on your roll, you get to do your thing, and then you get a roll and see how many zombies you get to place on the board, and you can place them around other people. Kind of screw people up a little bit. There's really interesting but gross artwork of certain cards, like you get the Molotov cocktail cards, or you could get cards to throw other people where they get stuck or they trip, or they get invasion of zombies in one area. You get so many bullets, so many hearts for life. It's kind of interesting. So if we're talking games, check out Zombies. That's a pretty good one too. So all right, there you go. Something to watch and something to get together with your friends and play some games. Dan, where can they find you on Facebook?
Facebook, Twitter world, whatever. You can find me on social media simply at Dan Gaines. Please remember to email us at rewindheroes@gmail.com. Check out our Facebook page. What about you, Greg?
Just check me out on Twitter at gcompton007. And that's pretty much it. So until next time, be kind.
And please rewind.